Jacob and William had been best friends since childhood. Growing up in the small town of Maplewood, they were known for their mischievous antics. Now, in their early 20s, they often found themselves bored in their sleepy hometown. One autumn evening, while hanging out in Jacob's basement, William suggested a prank call. "Remember those 911 prank calls we used to pull when we were kids?" William asked, a mischievous glint in his eye. Jacob laughed. "Yeah, we scared the hell out of Mrs. Donovan that one time. But dude, we're not kids anymore." William smirked. "Exactly. We're smarter now. Let's make it legendary." Reluctantly, Jacob agreed. They decided to call 911 with a fabricated story about a break-in at an abandoned house on the outskirts of town. It was the old Patterson house, a place that had been empty for years and was rumored to be haunted. Jacob dialed the number, putting the call on speaker. "911, what's your emergency?" Jacob cleared his throat, trying to sound panicked. "There's someone breaking into the old Patterson house. I saw them through the window. They have a gun." The operator's tone shifted to one of concern. "Stay calm, sir. What's your name?" Jacob paused, giving a fake name. David. David Miller." "Okay, David. We're dispatching officers to the location. Please stay where you are and don't approach the house." Jacob hung up, heart pounding with adrenaline. "That was intense," William laughed. "Now we wait." They sat in the basement, watching the local news and waiting for any mention of their prank. After about half an hour, they saw the headline flash across the screen. "Police respond to break-in at Patterson House." Jacob and William high-fived, laughing hysterically. But their amusement was short-lived. The next day, the news reported that the police had found evidence of a violent struggle at the Patterson House. Bloodstains, broken furniture, and signs of a hasty exit. No one had been found, but it was clear something terrible had happened there. Jacob felt a knot of guilt in his stomach. "We should have never done that, man. This is getting serious." William shrugged it off. "It's just a coincidence. Someone must have really broken in. We didn't do anything wrong." But Jacob couldn't shake the feeling that they had somehow triggered these events. Days turned into weeks, and the mystery of the Patterson House break-in remained unsolved. Then, one evening, Jacob received a phone call from an unknown number. "Hello?" A distorted voice replied. "You think it's funny to play games with people's lives?" Jacob's blood ran cold. "Who is this?" "You and your friend are in deep trouble. You messed with the wrong people." The call ended abruptly. Jacob's hands trembled as he recounted the conversation to William. William tried to remain calm. "It's probably just some prank in return. Don't let it get to you." But the threats didn't stop. Jacob and William started receiving letters and phone calls, all with the same ominous message. They were being watched, and their actions had consequences. The fear and paranoia took a toll on both of them. They could hardly sleep or eat, constantly looking over their shoulders. One night, Jacob woke up to the sound of someone breaking into his house. Heart pounding, he grabbed a baseball bat and crept downstairs. He found his front door wide open, but saw no one. On the floor lay a note. "This is just the beginning." Jacob called William, his voice shaking. "We need to go to the police. This has gone too far." William reluctantly agreed, and they went to the local police station. They confessed everything: the prank call, the threats, the break-in at Jacob's house. The officers took their statement seriously and promised to investigate. For a few days, things seemed to calm down. But then, one evening, William went missing. Jacob tried calling him repeatedly, but there was no answer. Panicked, he went to William's apartment and found the door ajar. Inside, the place was trashed, and there were clear signs of a struggle. On the kitchen table was a note: "You're next." Jacob felt his world crumbling. He rushed to the police, but they had no leads. Desperate, he decided to investigate on his own. Retracing their steps, he returned to the Patterson house. As he explored the eerie, abandoned building, he found a hidden basement. The door creaked open, revealing a chilling sight. Photographs of him and William, detailed notes on their daily routines, and a series of disturbing messages pinned to the walls. Suddenly, Jacob heard footsteps behind him. He turned to see a masked figure holding a knife. "You thought it was a joke, didn't you?" Jacob's mind raced. "Who are you? What do you want?" The figure removed the mask, revealing a face twisted with rage. "My brother was the one who broke into this house that night. Your prank call led the police straight to him. They shot him. He's dead because of you." Jacob stumbled back, realizing the horrifying truth. "I'm sorry. We didn't know. It was just a stupid prank." The man's eyes filled with tears. "Sorry won't bring him back." Before Jacob could react, the man lunged at him. A struggle ensued, but Jacob managed to knock the knife from his hand and escape. He ran to his car and sped to the police station, breathless and terrified. The police launched a manhunt for the attacker, but he remained elusive. William was never found. The prank that Jacob and William thought was harmless had spiraled into a nightmare with devastating consequences. Jacob left Maplewood, haunted by guilt and the memories of that fateful night. He moved to a new city, changed his name, and tried to start over. But the shadows of the past followed him, and every time the phone rang, his heart skipped a beat, fearing the voice on the other end. Years later, as Jacob sat alone in his apartment, he received a letter with no return address. Inside was a single photograph, him and William as kids, smiling and carefree. Written on the back were the words, "Some games are never over." Jacob knew he would never truly escape the consequences of that one reckless prank call. It had changed his life forever, a chilling reminder of how a moment of thoughtless fun could turn into a lifetime of horror.